The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's role play session with your host, James McDonald.
Well, thanks, Andrea, and I'd like to welcome everybody to our role play session. I hope you guys are ready and eager to do some role playing with me. But as I mention every time, we do these on Thursdays. We can discuss any element of the conversion process that you'd like to talk about, any questions, any common objections that you might be getting, any interesting scenarios that you want to maybe discuss how to handle that. Those are always good and helpful as well. So the sky's the limit. Yeah, we can do all of those things. You can volunteer to do role playing. You can type your question in the chat, and we're going to spend the next hour really laser focused on becoming better and better and better at lead conversion over the phone, booking appointments with worthy prospects and determining their timing and motivation so we know whether they're worthy prospects or not. Now, I expect Craig to be joining us here shortly if he hasn't already. I also want to remind everyone that tomorrow is our ad clinic session, so that means we're going to look at your ads. So I know a lot of you have done that, and we certainly appreciate it. The more the better. But there's some of you that are running ads right now. You're spending money, you're spending time, and I promise you the ads could be better. So why don't you take a minute and go to the ad clinic file and upload any ads that you're running right now, and we will take a look at them and we will offer you our suggestions as to what you might want to tinker with or test to get a different and perhaps better quantity and quality of response. That's the name of the game here. That's why we do them every Friday. Okay, so having said that, this is our role play session. We're here to do exactly that and talk about the universal script and any challenges that might go along with that. So Andrea, why don't we get started?
Hi,
Okay.
Mr. McDonald.
And Craig has joined us.
Hey, there he is, Mr. Craig Proctor. You probably just got off the ice from a spirited game of hockey, I assume.
I
That's
see.
what you Canadians do, I understand.
I see you've got your voice back.
Yes, it's almost 100%.
Your wife must hate that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was preferable when I was mute.
Okay, let's do this. Let's role play. Let's show everybody how to master any objections that they get and how to articulate such an awesome offer to buyer and seller prospects that they want to meet with us. Of course, James, we only want to make sure that we're making this offer to the right prospects. You don't want to just meet with somebody because you can.
Right. That's why I like to say this. The purpose of the universal callback script, it's to book an appointment with a worthy prospect. And the only way you know if they're a worthy prospect is based on their timing and motivation. So we don't want to book an appointment with everybody, but we certainly do with every appropriate prospect. You'd like to be able to book an appointment with them. Now, you're not going to be able to do it with everyone, but the better you get, the more often that'll happen. So, Craig, I think we probably have a bunch of volunteers or certainly some questions in the chat as well that pertain to the universal script and lead conversion. So let's crank it up.
All right.
Okay, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click the hand icon you see on your webinar control panel. You must have a mic or be on the telephone. You can also type in the chat box any questions, comments you may have, or that you would like to role play. So we have Mario Sconzo with his hands raised. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Hey, Mario, how are you?
Very well. How are you gentlemen doing?
Excellent.
Well,
Awesome.
I'm a little better than James. He's still a little. His voice is not quite right. So I'm going to let you off the hook a little bit, James. I'll do most of the talking today.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I'll do all the thinking.
Okay, good. All right, Mario. Do you want me to be a buyer prospect or a seller prospect?
How about you be a seller prospect who has clicked into my Commissions Inc. website for a home evaluation?
Okay, perfect. Ring, ring, and I say hello.
Thank you. May I speak with Craig, please?
This is Craig.
Craig, it's Mario Daniel Sconza over at Remax calling, and the reason I'm calling today is because I received your request for the online home evaluation you wanted via my website at searchgtaareahomes.com. And I just want to let you know that we've actually popped the information over to you in the email. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
You're most welcome. Are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Perhaps.
Okay, and if you were to move, would you be staying local or moving out of the area?
We want to stay in the area.
Right here in the area. And in the perfect world, when do you think that might be?
Probably do something in the spring.
In the springtime here coming up. Okay, and Craig, do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?
I have a friend I play hockey with that's a real estate agent.
I understand. And would you prefer to buy before listing your home for sale, or did you want to sell first?
You know, I think I'd like to look around before I stick a for sale sign on my house.
That makes a lot of sense. Would you like me to email you daily updates of homes that match your home buying criteria from all the different real estate companies, which would include bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, for sale by owners, expired listings, and other very difficult to find online properties? This, by the way, is a free service we provide, and of course, you're never obligated to buy a home. Would that interest you?
Well, wouldn't that be the same information my friend in real estate sending me?
You know, I don't know what your friend in real estate is sending you. However, our list includes...
He says he's sending me all the homes in my price range.
I understand. There's a lot of properties, Craig, that are very difficult to find online, and what we call priority notification on properties that aren't even on the market yet. So again, I don't know exactly what he's sending you. What I would love to do is get together with you for about 20 minutes so I can take down exactly what you're looking for. That way, rather than me emailing you hundreds of homes which may or may not match your criteria. By the way, do you find you're getting a lot of homes right now that don't even match your criteria?
Yeah, there's a few that we've, like I don't know why he sent them.
Yeah, exactly. So rather than us missing out on the perfect one, which may not even be for sale on the open market, if we can get together for about 20 minutes, I have a form I fill out and I can take down exactly what you're looking for. Would you have some time available in your schedule perhaps for this afternoon or this evening?
Can I just email you what I'm looking for, and then you can do, because that's what I did with my friend. He just asked me to email all the things that are important, and then based on that, he's sending me the information. So can I just do that, email you?
You can definitely send an email. However, what I found is that doesn't work very well because we miss out on some details which are very important in terms of what you may or may not be looking for. For instance,
okay, now stop there for a second, Mario. I wouldn't give in on that because you said we can definitely send you an email. So you're saying, yeah, we can do what I'm suggesting. I don't think you want to give them that because the problem is I know you're going to try to tell me why meeting with you is better, but you're going to find a lot of them will say, well, Mario, why don't we just start with the email then? Let's start with that because you said you can do that.
Yes, you're right. I did say that, yeah.
Right. You said, yeah, we can do that. So you're basically giving in to them. What I would prefer to hear you say is, look, Mario, I want to do a good job for you. Like don't even go into, yeah, I suppose we could do it that way, because believe me, what they're going to say to you many times is, okay, well, why don't we start with that? I understand, Mario, that you can probably do a better job by meeting with you, but for starts, since you said that you could email me, let's begin with that. And we don't want to do that, because if you begin with emailing them, there is no end, right? Like you can't change the rules. Once you let the cat out of the bag, there's no going back.
Right.
So you got to be firmer with this. This is not an option. So okay, how about this? If you said we can do that, and if I say, okay, well, you said we can do it, so let's start with that. Do you want to do that? And so never agree to do something you don't want to do.
That's great advice, and thank you for
Okay, so let's try that again. I say, so Mario, like, why do we need to meet? My buddy in real estate, he just told me to type out what I'm looking for and email it, and he's sending me information based on my email. So why can't I just do that? Why can't I just do the same thing with you?
You know, Craig, I want to do a really good job for you, and I don't want to miss out on any important details, and I want to find out exactly what you're looking for so we don't miss out on the perfect opportunity. For instance, would you look at
let's stop there for a second. You know what I say? Perfect. And you want to know what you just did? You told me the truth. You just told the buyer the truth, right? It's like, hey man, I want to do a good job for you. Rather than me sending you dozens of emails that may or may not match what you're looking for, or even worse, missing out on the perfect home, if we can get together for about 15, 20 minutes, I can have the same great understanding of what that you have as to what you're looking for. That way I'll only be sending you homes that are a perfect match. Remember, the prospect already told you, you asked a good question. You said, hey, do you ever find that, your buddy, the real estate agent, is sending you homes that aren't a match? Well, guess what? If we got together and actually sat down and had a conversation about this, don't you think I could do a much better job? So you're not having to sift through dozens of homes that aren't going to work, and you'll never miss out on the perfect one? There's no buyer, Mario, that you will have that conversation to that would say, oh, Mario, that's a dumb idea. Nobody can logically say, they might not want to come in and meet with you, but nobody could deny that what you're suggesting is a fantastic idea. I would say this, okay, if you called your doctor, think about this, Mario, you call your doctor, you say, hey man, I'm not feeling so good, could you just give me this, I Googled it myself, doc, could you just give me this prescription over the phone? You know what that's called? That's called malpractice. If he did that, your doctor would insist that you come in and he's going to have a consultation with you so he can give you the right prescription. So that's you're the doctor of real estate, right? You need to have the patient come in and have a consultation. Now, if I fight you on coming in and I'm trying to sell you now, Mario, the prospect's trying to sell you on the fact that, hey, you know what, I don't really need to come in. Just email me the information. I'm sure that'll be good. I want you now to shake my confidence on why doing it my way is a dumb idea. So what kind of things could you say to me about what perhaps you don't know about me and why not meeting is a bad idea? Can you give me a couple of examples?
So are you meaning getting into, for instance, where we suggest, for instance, Craig, would you look at homes, for instance, that have urea formaldehyde foam insulation?
Yes. What you want to do is you want to shake the buyer's confidence, because the prospect's saying to you, I'm all confident. I don't need to come and meet with you, Mario, because I got a buddy in real estate that's sending me information, and I have this other thing. It's called the internet. You might have heard of it, and I can go on to Realtor.com in Canada, MLS.ca, whatever it's called now. I can go to all these different websites. I can go to all these IDXs, and I'm the confident buyer. In other words, I don't need you or any other real estate agent. I can shop on my own. Okay? So now your job is to shake my confidence. So if you were the prospect, I'd say, well, Mario, by coming in and having a meeting with me for about 15 minutes, I can find out about what's really important to you and which homes you definitely wouldn't be open to. Let me give you an example, Mario. Would you be interested in homes that have aluminum wiring? What do you think basically to that? Yeah, I've never had a buyer ever say, no, I don't mind buying a house that's going to burn down. Okay, how about this? Would you be interested in a home that has formaldehyde insulation or other alternate insulation?
No.
Would you? Are you interested in homes with pools?
Not really. We have small children, so no.
Okay. Would you be interested in homes that are on a corner lot? How about a home that perhaps has had a fire? Or how about a home that has an oil tank buried in the backyard? So these are some of the things that I would like to have a detailed conversation. I think you would agree, Mario, buying a home is probably one of the biggest purchase decisions you're going to make in your life. If we can get together for even 15 minutes, I can ask you a series of these questions so we can eliminate homes that absolutely you wouldn't be interested in and really fine-tune in, but really hone in on exactly what you're looking for. So that way we'll only be sending you the perfect homes. And then at your own convenience, on your own time frame, you can look at the emails I send you, knowing that they're all going to be pretty good. You can look at the pictures, read the description. When it's convenient to you, drive by the properties. And all I ask in return is when you drive by a property and you want to look at it, that you give us a call. Does that sound like it might work? You've got all the advantages of working with a real estate agent, but you're getting all the information and you can go do it on your own. No one there to pressure you. You can see as many homes as you like, and there's absolutely no cost or obligation to meet with me. When do you think would be a good time for us to do that?
Oh man, we can do that here. We can do that here this afternoon. Craig, let me ask you a question. Would you now roll into or let them know anything, because there is a sell, they want to list their home as well. So would you in any way, now that you've booked the appointment on the buy end, roll into the CMA offer as well, or just leave that for the meeting?
If going to the buy offer didn't work, if they said, well, I could also say, and when we get together, I could plus it with the sell offer. But if they truly are a buy first prospect, if you just do the buy offer properly, they'll say yes. See, this is what I want you guys to understand, is when I made my phone calls, the vast majority of people that I made the offer to, well, first of all, I'm only making an offer to a buyer or seller that's actually ready to buy and sell now. I'm not looking for things to do. I'm not trying to meet with the elderly couple that's lonely. I'm only making that offer, the buyer offer, the seller offer, to somebody I should be making the offer to. But pretty much everyone I made the offer to said yes. So I just want you guys to have that. And do you notice my conviction and my confidence in my offer? Here's the way I look at it. If you articulate this properly, it's like the prospect looks like a damn fool not to say yes. What would be the downside if you don't have a real estate agent that you're committed to accepting this offer that I'm making? That's why we call it a universal offer. Okay, Mario, yesterday I have some inside sales agents that work at my office in Newmarket, okay? And their job is to follow up with people that call my office and they're looking for real estate training. Does that sound pretty much like the leads you guys are getting? Right? All the buyers and sellers that you call back using my system, 100% of them have contacted you on their own volition. So you're returning an inquiry that the prospects made. They've raised their hand and they've come to you, they visited your website or your hotline, and they left all their information and they said, I want this. And you're good enough to send the information out. So you've created some reciprocity, but normal people do not request information that is not of interest to them. So the very nature of the information we're offering is only of interest to a real prospect. Now, all you have to do is ask some qualifying questions to determine whether this buyer is even worthy of Mario. That's the attitude I want you to have. I want you to be asking these questions like, I don't even know if I want this prospect. I've got so many prospects, I got to be kind of choosy here. Can't be wasting my time just meeting with any old buyer or seller. So you're asking the question. Now, if they fight you and they won't answer the questions, it could be two things. Number one, you're not using the script properly, or they're just not that motivated, which is okay. I don't want you to feel like you have to convert everyone, because you can't convert everyone. I'm not saying I converted all the leads. I'm just saying if they didn't have a real estate agent and their timing was now, okay, and they're motivated, I'm going to book an appointment with them.
Right. Let's.
It doesn't make sense for them to say no to the offer.
What's a good conversion rate, Craig?
Well, if they look like I just described, I pretty much got them all. So back to my story here. Get back to my story with my inside sales agents in Newmarket. So I just hired a new lady. So I like to lead by example, and I'm going somewhere with this story, so hang in with me, everybody. I trained this lady yesterday, and I called back real estate agents that were inquiring about training, and I'm going to tell you what happened. I pretty much signed everyone I talked to up to our next conference in Florida. I led by example, and they're looking at me and they're like, well, like you made this look really easy because everyone you talk to gives you their credit card and says, I want to jump in an airplane and spend 2 or 3 days of my life with you, and I don't even know you, but I just inquired, from our advertising. So I got all of you that are listening to me right now. Your first point of contact was you either met me or James McDonald, and James and I convinced you to do something that you didn't want to do. And that was to come to a super conference and spend 3 days when many of you are seminared out. You're tired of seminars. You didn't want to go to seminars. You've been to all kinds of seminars over your real estate career, and none of them have really helped you. And then you had to go home and tell your spouse, I met this James McDonald at a half day or Craig Proctor, and now I'm going to fly off to wherever, and I'm going to spend 3 days. And your spouse said to you, well, gee, Mario, you've done a whole bunch of those, and nothing's really changed. And your spouse says, I know this is probably just a good excuse for you to go and party and drink with your friends, right? So our presentation to you, folks, had to be really good to get you to do something that you really didn't want to do. So back to real estate. When you folks are talking to buyers and sellers, you're trying to convince them to do something they don't want to do, which is to meet with a real estate salesperson. But as James McDonald has said many times, they all do. No buyer buys a home unless they buy for sale by owner without working with a real estate agent. Eventually, they meet with an agent. Eventually, they sign a purchase and sale agreement. No seller sells their home unless they sell for sale by owner without hiring a real estate agent. So our offer has to be so good and make so much sense that people do something that they really don't want to do. Because I guarantee you, every buyer seller that you talk to, they don't want to meet with you. And this is why most real estate agents, just accept it. Yes, they don't want to meet with you. That's why your offer's got to be so good. And I'm just saying, when I'm training my salespeople at the New Market office, when they're calling people, they say the same things that you guys say. Well, the real estate agents, they don't pick up the phone. They're hard to reach. If I leave a message, they don't call back. They don't want to come to the seminar. Yes, because they're not using the right words. I'm just saying when I call real estate agents back, the same leads I asked them to call, that doesn't happen with me. You might say, well, it's because it's Craig calling, but it was the same in my real estate business. I led by example. The inside sales agents that worked for me, I would jump on the phone, just like we do with you folks, but I was making live calls to prospects on three-way calling, and they would listen to me make the calls. You know what, James, are you still with us, James?
I am.
I think we need to do this. I think we need to go back to what I used to do. So, Mario, here's what I used to do. I used to, when we did these on, just by telephone, I would call my leads. I would call my leads, and everyone in the coaching group would hear me calling back the buyers and sellers. I led by example. So the coaching members could, Craig called them, and he got an appointment. It was sometimes the response was so good. Do you know what I was accused of? That this wasn't even real. Craig must be calling his buddies. This is fake. He called 4 of them, and he made 4 appointments, right? So why don't we do this, Mario? Why don't I will call some of your leads.
Okay.
I'll call your leads. I'll say, this is Craig Proctor. I'm calling on behalf of Mario Sconza with Remax, and I see that you requested whatever, and I will show you in front of everyone here how easy it is to get what you want, which is an appointment.
Sure.
Okay, that's what we need to do. I need to show you guys that this is real. And if you do exactly what I do, and you're confident about your offer, that pretty much everybody says yes to. James McDonald was very, very good at this. James, did everyone say yes to you? Well, guess what? He didn't ask everybody. If you make the offer to everybody, lots of people will say no to you because they're not motivated and their timing's way off in the future. But if you're only making the offer to people that are super motivated and their timing is now, which is the only people you really should be interested in, I'm telling you, almost 100% of them will say yes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The key is, and you know, I'll take it even a step further. When you become really good at making the offer, you can book appointments with those who you shouldn't. Do you understand what I mean by that? In other words, you can book an appointment with somebody that will say yes because they see the benefit, even though their timing and motivation really isn't appropriate. The offer is so good, they'll say yes.
That's true. Okay, so does everyone get what James is saying? The offer is so damn good, even people that really aren't motivated to do something say yes. Does that make sense? Anyway,
Yes.
Mario, I want you to have 10-foot tall confidence with this. This offer, made properly to the right people, it is a dragon slayer. You will kill your competition. As you're saying it, you already know they're going to say yes.
Right on.
Now once we get there, once we get to this point, do you have other people on your team calling back the leads?
Not yet.
Okay, now, as you hang with me, the lead flow is going to increase. Would you admit that as you hang with me, you're generating more leads than before you met me?
No doubt.
Okay, that's not going to stop. Now, you might think, well, that's a good thing, but it's a bad thing eventually because I say this to all of you. If you hang with us and you do exactly what we tell you to do, your biggest problem, you'll have too many leads to call, and at some point, as this thing starts to blow up, Mario, you're going to want to hire someone to help you make the calls. Because right now, it's only you. So you're making the calls, and once I make you really good with the script, you're going to be booking all these listing appointments and buyer appointments. Well, guess what? Since there's only you, you're now out on all the appointments. Who's making the calls? Nobody's making the calls. And the calls pile up and pile up and pile up. So eventually, you're going to need some help. But and all of you, this applies to all of you. But how are you going to train the next person that you hire if you're not really, really good at this? And the answer is you couldn't. It would be impossible. So first we work on training all of you to be a masters at the universal callback script, which gives you the further possibility now of teaching someone else which you're really good at. And that's leverage, because as soon as we can teach them how to get the same results that you're getting, Mario, guess what? You're free. What would you like to do this weekend if you didn't have to sell real estate?
What would I like to do this weekend? Fly to Paris with my wife. Right, but it's kind of a crazy thought because you're thinking, well, that's a nice fantasy, but I can't do that because I've got to sell real estate. Got to return my calls. I got to go in appointments. And how long have you been in real estate for now, Mario? 27 years. Okay, that gets old after 27 years, right? Yeah, it sure does. Okay, so let's plan a business where eventually it actually is a business, where you've got an exit strategy. So one day you can tap your wife on the shoulder and say, guess what, this weekend we're really going to Paris, and I got the money and I got the time, and most of all I got the freedom to do it. And when I'm in Paris with you, honey, guess what? I'm not going to be stressed out about work. I'm not going to be calling into the office, did we get it, worrying about this or that, because you're going to know that your business is up and it's running. It really is a business. So you can keep going to Paris or doing whatever you want to do. That's what the big picture is here. It's not about how to sell a few more homes. Mike Ferry can show you how to knock on more doors. This is about really blowing it out so you have the life that you want. I'm not doing this so you guys make a little bit more money. I want you guys doing this. So here's what I want. I want you coming back from that week in Paris saying, hey, man, thank you very much. You didn't just change my business. You changed my life. Mario, I want to thank you, man, for doing this today. I hope my thoughts are encouraging to you and everyone. Let's go back to our lovely operator, Andrea. We'll see who's next.
Our next guest is Larry Levine. Your line is open. Larry?
Larry, now isn't there a guy on radio, Larry Levine? There's a guy, I think it's, hi, I'm Larry Levine. I'm a stockbroker.
Okay.
I think I've heard that.
And Larry did type in, I'll go ahead and read it. He says, if the offer is made so well that you're booking appointments with people who you shouldn't be, doesn't that lead to no-shows and indicate you need to be better at establishing timing and motivation?
Well, of course, we're not, okay, that's not the point we're making. We're not encouraging you to book appointments with people that you shouldn't be booking them with, hence the reason for the probing questions. The purpose of those probing questions, you're asking the questions so you can listen to how the prospect answers the questions. I've heard some of you, the recordings of the calls you make, and you're asking questions, you're not really listening to the answers, so you're not learning anything about their timing or motivation. The only reason to ask the probing questions is so you actually listen to how they answer the questions so you can decide, do you even want to make an offer? Should you make an offer to this prospect, or do they represent future business? And it is an offer, but it's a different offer, which is, James, could I follow up? Would it be okay if I followed up with you at a later time? If James says no, I'm good with that. I got a gazillion leads. I would prefer if a prospect said, if they weren't motivated to do anything, if their timing's way off, if they didn't want me to follow up with them, I am okay with that. I would rather them say, go away, then lead me on, and I have to call them for the next 6 months just to find out that the answer is no. So the probing questions are going to, how they answer those questions is going to dictate, in your mind, it's going to tell you which of the 3 offers that you should be making. And James, explain to everybody those 3 offers one more time, please.
Well, your offer is either to meet right now, book an appointment to meet right now, follow up with them later, or wish them a good day and never ever speak to them again, never follow. They represent no business for you whatsoever. Everybody has to
which is
follow
okay.
those 3 categories.
Yeah, and have a nice day. Have a nice day. Thank you and have a nice day is okay.
Now, later, or never. Those are your 3 options. So while you're asking the probing questions, you're listening to the answers, and what you're considering while you're hearing the answers is, are they now, later, or never?
Who's next, Andrea?
Our next guest is Robert Winters. Your telephone line is now open.
Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
I can hear you.
Okay. What do you want to do? You want to do buyer or seller? Buyer.
Okay, this doesn't sound like Robert.
No, this is Araceli and Kitty. We're part of his team.
Okay, you might be thinking, well, Craig's a genius, because this doesn't sound like a man. All right, so who am I role playing with?
Araceli. Araceli.
Okay, now how do I spell that?
Araceli.
Araceli. Okay, Araceli. Okay, got it. All right, so what kind of prospect do you want me to be, Araceli? Buyer or seller?
A buyer.
Okay, so you're calling me, ring, ring, hello, hello, hello.
Hi. Hi,
Hello?
is this Craig? Or who am I speaking with? Yeah, Craig. Hi, Craig.
Yes, who's this?
This is Araceli calling from Winters Real Estate. Just following up with you. You signed up on our site, our home search site, and I wanted to let you know that we've unlocked your profile, so you have unlimited searches on our profile.
Okay, who taught you this script?
What's that?
Who taught you this script?
Okay,
you're using bad language here. You signed up on my site, and what else did you say?
Oh.
You locked in my profile. What was all this?
That you can access properties on the profile.
Okay. Are you? We're doing a webinar here. Are you looking at your computer screen? Do you see the universal follow-up script there?
Yes, I'm looking at it now. I'm just looking at.
Where is this? What you're reading? Where is that on the script?
Oh, you know what? It's not on there.
Because that's kind of what we're doing here today. We're trying to do this.
Okay.
right? We want to do that. So it's a universal callback script. So this would work, right?
Yes.
I'll tell you what,
Yes.
humor me, okay? Can you read the words here on the buyer side? Just read those to me, and let's see if it works. So forget whatever you're doing now and just read the type on the screen here, and let's see if this would actually work.
Okay. Hi, Craig. With our company here at Winters Real Estate.
Well, hang on. I haven't said hello. Ring, ring. Hello.
Hello, is this Craig?
Speaking.
Hi. This is Araceli with Winters Real Estate, and the reason I'm calling is because we received your request for information that you wanted for information that you wanted, and I sent it out in an email. Is that all right?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Craig, are you looking to move within the next 3 to 6 months?
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Are you currently renting or do you own?
Yeah, I rent.
You rent right now. Okay.
Yes.
Now, so are you planning on staying in the area?
Yeah, we want to stay here in the area.
Okay. Now, when are you looking to move? Is it like within a month or 3 months?
Where's it say that?
Oh, just follow here. Okay. If you were to move, when do you think that might be?
We might do something in the spring.
In the spring? Okay. So would it be all right if I followed up with you at a later time?
Why wouldn't you want to meet with me now?
Because you're 6
You know we're
months
almost
away.
in Feb. Okay, when's the spring?
Uh,
Spring starts technically March 21st, and we're almost in February. Why would
Okay.
you? Why would you want to follow? Why would you want to just volunteer to follow up with me? Why wouldn't you want to try to book an appointment with me?
Correct.
Like you haven't even tried to book an appointment with me. Okay, so I'm saying I want to do something in the next 6 weeks, really, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have a realtor that can help you with that?
Nope. Don't know any realtors.
Okay. Craig, if I could meet with you.
Okay, no benefit. You're going right to the meeting. Okay, so what you're doing now is you're communicating the commitment before the benefit.
Okay. Craig, would you like me to email you daily updates of homes that match your home buying criteria from all real estate companies? Our list includes bank-owned properties, foreclosures, company-owned properties, and other distressed sales. It's a free service, and of course, you're never obligated to buy a home. Would that interest you, Craig?
Yeah, I would like that.
Okay. When can we get together for about 20 minutes so I can take down exactly what you're looking for?
Can I just email you what I'm looking for?
Yes, but
Oh, you said yes, so let's just do it that way then.
What's that? Email? You want to email?
Well, I asked you, can you just email it, and you said yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Craig. No, that cannot be done.
Okay.
Because, I do have a
Why
criteria list.
Why can't it be done?
Okay, because rather than emailing you hundreds of homes which may or may not match your criteria or risk missing out on
Okay,
the
let's stop there.
one.
First of all, it's kind of a lie to say it can't be done. Don't say it can't be done. That's not true, and they don't believe it. What do you want to say then? You want to say, well, Craig, I want to do a good job for you. Start with that. I want to do a good job for you. Rather than, and then go into it.
Okay, so I'm right here.
Just tell the truth.
Craig,
I want to do a good job for you.
Craig, I want to do a good job for you. And rather than email you hundreds of homes which may or may not match your criteria or risk missing out on the perfect one, if we could get together for about 20 minutes, I have a form I fill out and I can take down exactly what you're looking for. What does your schedule look like this week, today?
Well, I'm kind of busy at work. I've got your contact info, though. I'll call you when I have some time.
Okay. Can we set up something tentative and then we'll confirm? Or do you have the afternoons available?
Yeah, afternoons might be good on Tuesdays.
Tuesday, say around 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock?
How about 4:30?
4:30. Okay. We'll set it up for 4:30. We'll confirm again, but I forgot. Okay.
Okay. Let's stop there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to know when you were doing the best job?
When
you just read the script.
Okay, I'll stick to it more.
Do you want to know when you got into trouble? When you veered from the script and you started to ad lib and you starting to go all over the place, right? But
yes.
You were the most confident and you sounded the best when you just did what was easy. Just read the words in front of you.
Yes, and it kind of, it felt better because I didn't really have to think what I was going to say next. Not too much. I mean, I know I need to
Well, okay, how about this?
Okay.
I've been doing this for 25 years. How long have you been doing it for?
Here at the team, like a month, but not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it for a month. So if you can come up with better ways to do this, I'm all ears. But until you figured that out, why don't we just do it this way?
You know what? That sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
Right? Like that's why we buy a coaching program and a system, right? So think about this. I've never owned a restaurant in my life. The only experience I have with restaurants is I go in and I eat their food.
Yes. Yeah.
Which James would say I do a pretty good job of. Okay, so I know nothing about, okay, don't you start. Okay, so I know nothing about restaurants, but it would be like me buying a McDonald's franchise, and they've got these established systems, but I get on their webinars, I say, well, you know what, I know that you guys have tested for 50 years how long the French fries are supposed to be cooked for and how much salt goes on, but I'm just going to do it my way. And I know the Big Mac, like a lot of people like it with the 2 patties, but I'm going to put in 1 patty of beef, and I'm going to put a fillet of fish in there instead of the 2 beef patties, and I'm going to go with that one. Right? When you have an established system, use the system. You're making it way too difficult.
Yeah.
Just let whatever is inside you that wants to do it your way and innovate. And I get it. You're creative. You're smart. But you know what? Just start with this. If a month from now or 2 months from now you come back on and you say, hey, Craig, you know what? I mastered it your way, and I tried a couple of other things that are working well, I'm all ears. James and I would never, if someone come back and make this better, and we can prove it to the masses that whatever this alteration, this change you came up with works better, we would incorporate it in this, and everyone would do it that way.
Yeah.
But we haven't been able to do that. The truth is, over the last 10 years, James and I, the thousands of realtors, we haven't changed the script at all. Why? Because we did it initially. We changed it and tweaked it and changed it and tweaked it until when? Till we couldn't make it any better. So we've spent, all that time on this. Why don't you just use this?
And what way would you say the best way for us to memorize this, because we're both new to it?
By using it.
Just
have it in front of you and read it. And here's what's weird about this. At first, whose words are these? These are Craig's, the crazy inventor guy. They're his words. But as you start to use this and it works and it's making sense, eventually these do not become Craig's words. Would you guys agree that James McDonald is pretty damn good with this script?
Mm-hmm.
James, for years and years and years, used my words. Now, he doesn't think they're my words. They're his words now. He owns the words. You're going to own the words. They'll be your words. There'll be so much your words as the rainmaker, you'll be able to teach anyone that works with you how to do it just like you. That's what's going to happen. Practice makes perfect. Through repetition, you're going to get better and better and better. Okay, confession. I sucked at this when I started. I had no script. I was horrible. I consistently got nowhere with all the buyers and sellers. So what did I think? Well, I guess all these leads aren't very good. It's kind of weird, eh? All these people requesting information about how to buy and sell real estate, but they don't want to buy and sell real estate. That's the conclusion you come to if you're not good with the script. So over many years, I made it better and better and better, and I tweaked and I changed. Some things worked and some things didn't work, and we got it to the point where both James and I couldn't make the thing any better. Through thousands of coaching members, we've had 30,000 people through the program, we couldn't make the thing any better. So here's what James and I did. We looked at each other and we said, well, we should probably stick with this. Since over a decade we can't make the thing better, we should probably just go with this. Now, if we come up with a better idea, James and I are not, we're not against improving it if we can improve it. We would love to continue to make it better and better and better and better. So we're open to suggestions. If you guys have any alterations to this script, some improvements, we're all ears. We'd like to hear. But until we can make it better, let's all agree as a team here, all over 200 of you that are with us at the webinar, let's just do it this way.
Agreed.
Agreed.
We're on.
Got it. Okay, thanks for volunteering. And
Thank you, and I'll be much better next time. You watch.
Look, you're only at it a month. You're not supposed to be good at this in the first month. That's normal. It's a process. Okay, let's go back to Andrea. Let's see who's next.
We're going to go with Sam Shell. Your line is now open.
Hi, Craig. How are you?
Sam, what's going on in Richmond Hill?
Not much. Just trying to make some money.
Well, I hope I'm entertaining you today.
Yeah, I like the webinar. It's very interesting.
Look, let's do a role play.
Okay. Yeah, let's try. You can try a seller lead. Online home evaluation postcard.
Ring, ring, hello.
I may speak to Craig Proctor, please.
He's not here. This is his wife.
Hi there. This is Sam from Remax, and the reason I was calling is because I received your request for the evaluation on your home, and I was just calling to let you know that I sent that information over to you. Is that okay?
Gee, I know my husband and I have been talking about moving, but I didn't know he contacted a realtor.
Yeah, and I was wondering, are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
Well, like I said, we've been discussing it, but I didn't know he contacted a realtor.
Yeah, he did. And if you were to make a move, Mrs. Proctor, will you be staying in the area or moving out of the area?
I don't know. You know what? You're going to have to talk to him about this. If I didn't know that he'd really contacted anybody.
Okay, is there a direct number I can get a hold of him? A cell phone number?
And I give you the cell phone number. Now, when you call the husband now, he can't be upset. He might say, well, hey, where did you get my cell phone number? You can say, well, I called the number you gave me. It was your home number. Spoke to your wife, and she gave me your cell number. Okay, now, you did the right thing, though. Did everyone see what Sam attempted to do? You always want to try to go through the script with the spouse, with the other spouse. If well, first of all, you want to actually try to get a hold of the person that made the request. So when you asked for me, and I said, no, this is his wife, did you say, well, may I speak to Craig? Is Craig home? Did you say that?
Yes, I asked for Craig Proctor, and you said, oh, he's not home. This is his wife.
Okay, good. That's what you want to do. Now, if I was home, you would want to say, well, may I speak to him? And, she might say, well, what's this in regards to? I'm just returning his inquiry. I wouldn't even say probably who I am unless she asks. When the husband gets on the phone, boom, you just go through the script. But I'm going to say this. In all my years doing this, Sam, do you know sometimes it was better to actually get the spouse that didn't request the information? Because in this example, what am I saying to you? I'm saying, well, gee, I know my husband and I had been discussing making a move, but I didn't actually know he had already contacted a realtor. Sometimes the other spouse will give you more information. They're like, oh, I guess it's game on. I know we've been talking about it, but he's contacted a realtor, and they'll be more willing to answer your questions. In this case, I wasn't willing to, though the wife wasn't willing to play ball, so you did the right thing. She's saying, well, I don't know, you'd have to speak to my husband about it. You said, great, I'd love to. How do I reach him? Let's do it again, and this time I will play ball with you. So ring, ring, I say hello, you say who you are, and and I say, well, my my husband and I, we've been talking about it. I didn't know that he contacted a realtor. So what's this about?
And I was wondering, are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months, Greg?
Maybe. Apparently, I guess my husband contacted you, so apparently.
Okay, and if you were to make a move, will you be staying in the area or moving out of the area?
Yeah, we want to stay in Richmond Hill, or maybe even go a little further south to Thornhill.
Okay, and if you were to make a move, when do you think that might be?
Well, we were talking about doing it over the summertime, so we didn't have to pull the kids out of school.
Okay, and do you have a real estate agent to help you when the time's right?
The agent that sold us this house has been keeping in touch. In fact, we just got a calendar from her just before Christmas.
Okay, but you're going to be interviewing other agents, right?
I don't know. Should we?
Well, definitely you would want to interview agents because not all real estate agents are the same. They all produce different results and charge different commissions.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. What's your commission?
Well, we have a menu of commissions, and I haven't seen your house yet, so we can discuss that with you when the time is right.
Okay, so you can't just tell me what the commission is, because the other realtor that sold us the place, they said they would do it for 3%. So could you do it for 3%?
Well, I'm not sure what that real estate is offering you, but our commissions can range anywhere from 0 to full commission. So we'll be happy to take a look at your house.
First of all, Sam, I wouldn't go down to 0. It sounds too unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. I just got stuck because you kept saying it.
So you could say this, though, that your commission ranges from 3 to 6%.
Well, the reason I said 0, Craig, is because we offer them to allow them to sell it on their own while they're listed with us.
Try to avoid answering that question because it doesn't really matter how you answer it.
Okay.
Give me any commission. Give me 0, and I'll tell you, well, there's another agent in Richmond Hill. He'll actually pay you to list your home. It doesn't matter how low you go. It's not going to be good enough. So try not to answer that. I like just sticking with, I would like to see your home before I quote a fee. Some homes are much easier to sell than others. So when would be a good time for me to drop by and have a look at your property? And when we look at your property, I can also give you some advice on what to do and what not to do to prepare it for sale, so you to get the most in your pocket, and actually go through a net sheet with you so you'd know all the expenses that you would incur and actually know with good certainty what number you're going to have left in your pocket after all the expenses. We could also talk about timing, since you're buying and selling, how this can all work, and answer any of the other questions that you have. Do you think that might be helpful? I like asking that. I don't think I've ever had anyone say, no, that wouldn't be helpful. Getting all that information, that would be dumb. Never had anyone say that. Once they say it's helpful, well, then, it'd be really helpful, but I don't want it. Exactly. I agree with you. That would be really, really helpful, but no, I don't want you to come over and do that.
So, Craig, if they keep pushing on the commission and you have to answer and you have to say something, then you would say that you would match the
Well, I'm going to push you hard, and you do exactly what I taught you to do here. And let's see. If you're saying the wrong thing, it's your choice. You've decided to say the wrong thing, so you control your words here. So, I've got this agent that sold us the place, Sam, and you said there's a big difference between agents and what they charge. So, my agent said that sold us the place would do it for 3%. What's your fee? What do you charge?
Craig, I haven't really seen your house yet, so I don't know. There's a big difference between different homes. So I would love to take a closer look at your home, give you an accurate assessment, and also while I'm there, give you some tips on what to do and more importantly, what not to do to prepare your home to sell for the most amount of money when you're ready to do so. And also,
Sam, are you the same as all the other agents?
No, we're not the same as all other agents.
Okay, so what else might you want to talk about other than just the fee?
Well, we can talk about timing, we can answer any other questions you may have, and also go over a net sheet with you and cover all the various closing costs, so this way you'll know exactly what you have left in your pocket.
What I meant by that, Sam, is this. Sam, you're asking about the fee. look, there's a tremendous difference between what real estate agents do and how much they charge to get the job done. Who knows? I might even have a buyer for your home already. I have 1,132 buyers in my database that are looking for a home in Richmond Hill. When we get together and I have a look at your home, I'll be able to let you know perhaps whether we have a buyer right away. Remember, the number one thing sellers want is buyers. Plus, I can give you, I've sold, how many homes has your team sold in Richmond Hill?
We sold over 100 homes in Richmond.
Okay, you sold over 100. We've sold over 100 homes in Richmond Hill, and I can give you some advice on what things you should be doing in preparing your home for sale and what would not be worth doing. Also, it sounds like you're really concerned with the commission and what you're going to get in your pocket after you pay all your costs. I'd be happy to do a net sheet for you, answer all your questions, and show you how you're going to get more money in your pocket by working with me than any other realtor in Richmond Hill. When do you think would be, first of all, do you think that would be helpful?
Yeah, that would be helpful, Craig.
So when do you think would be a good time for us to get together with you, days or evenings?
Probably evenings.
Now, the harder they fight you on this, here's what your brain should be thinking. The more you don't want them.
Craig,
The harder they fight you, the more you don't want them. If they're really concerned about commission, and they keep fighting you and fighting you and fighting you probably know when you get there, well, they're not going to pay me what I need anyway, so why even go there?
Can I also use, like, when they're really pushing me and I'm getting stuck against the wall, can I also say, like, well, Craig, we have over 561 buyers looking for homes in Richmond Hill, and if we can't sell it to one of our buyers, we'll be willing to buy your home ourselves?
Yeah, well, if you've got a guaranteed, I don't like to go to the guaranteed sale program on these calls because not everyone's offering it, but look, if you're offering a guaranteed sale program, you definitely want to mention that as a method of differentiating yourself. So, for example, you might be just coming off the market with another realtor, and I would say to you, I see that your home just came off the market, Sam. Look, are you aware of how our guaranteed sale program works? I'm so motivated to get your home sold. I'm actually willing to buy someone else's property, make that happen. And if you move up to any one of our listings, I'll give you a written upfront guarantee. Your home will already be sold, either to me or to an outside buyer, depending on who will give you the highest offer. So you definitely want to go there. If you've got a guaranteed sale program, think of this. That's the bazooka. You've got that bazooka in your briefcase. Why are you messing around with a squirt gun? Right? You wouldn't go to a gunfight with a squirt gun when you've got a bazooka or a grenade. Exactly. So of course you want to go there. You'd say, no, Craig, we also have a guaranteed sale program where if your home isn't sold in 120 days, I'll actually buy it. Would you be interested in knowing what I would buy your home for?
Yes.
Do you think they might be curious?
Yeah, of course.
So absolutely you want to go there.
All right.
The other realtor that sold you the house, are they going to buy it if it doesn't sell within 120 days? Well, I don't know. Well, don't you think if they offered a program like that, they might have mentioned that to you? Did the other realtor, the person that sold you the house that sold you the calendar last year, did they tell you about how many buyers they're currently working with in Richmond Hill? Because we're currently working with 1,182 buyers for York Region. Should you decide to list your home with me, the very first thing I would do is I'd email information on your home out to the over 1,100 buyers that we're currently working with. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's almost like I've been looking for a buyer for your home before you and I even meet. Sometimes we have more than one buyer that's interested in your home, and we're able to get you multiple offers, ensuring that you get your asking price or even more than your asking price. Would you be interested in even meeting with me for 15 or 20 minutes so I can outline all the ways that we're different maybe from the other realtor you're thinking of and can answer all your questions? It's absolutely free of charge, and you're never obligated to do anything. Do you think that might be helpful?
Yes.
Like what
Craig, I
happens,
have a
Sam,
question.
it's impossible for them to say no.
I have a question. Like right now, I have a lot of buyers in my database. We have over 11,000. But what's a magic number to use so it sounds realistic and it doesn't sound like you're bluffing?
Okay, look, you're using Commissions Inc., right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how you can go in there and you could type in the neighborhood and you can bring your iPad, your agents can bring your iPad out to the buyer and actually show them how many buyers you have. Like this is not BS, right? You could put in the neighborhood and in this price range, we have 126 buyers that are looking in your neighborhood in this price range. And here's their names, and you show it to them.
Okay.
How impressed are they?
I actually
Okay,
have
and the
1,027 in Richmond Hill.
Right, okay, so you want to tell the truth. All I'm saying is tell the truth. The problem is some of you guys have really great stuff, but you're secret agents. You're not sharing these great things that you can say. Trust me, Sam, if the agents you compete with, if they could say the stuff that you could say, they would be saying it. But they've got nothing to say. What are they saying? Here's what they're saying. Hey, Sam, if you list your home with me, I'm going to go look for buyers. I'm going to go advertise. Let's talk about how I'm going to advertise to try to find a buyer for your home. That's what they're saying. List with me, and I'm going to go out there and start looking for a buyer. You're coming in. You're showing your iPad. What was the number of buyers you have in Richmond Hill?
1,027.
I have 1,027 buyers that have contacted me in the last 12 months looking for a home in Richmond Hill, and boom, you use your iPad, and here they are. And scroll down the buyers. Let them see the buyers' names, how many times they've come back to your site. This is called demonstration. You want to be really, really good with demonstration.
Yep. That was awesome. Thank you, Craig.
All right, Sam. Go get him.
All right, thanks.
Okay, let's go to the chat questions. James, you've been looking at the chat questions?
I have not, but I know Andrea always picks out the good ones. They're all good, of course, but the best ones, let's say.
I do. We'll go to our first one. Barry, he says, what about people who say, I'm probably 6 to 12 months out, but it could be sooner than that? Would you set the appointment?
Are they a buyer or a seller?
That's the question. Now, why don't you explain why that matters? Because
if they're a seller, no, I don't want to force an appointment, because if they really are, if they're telling me, what was the time frame? 6 to 8 months?
6 to 12.
Possibly sooner. Yeah.
6 to 12, okay, or maybe sooner. So sooner might be 4 or 5 months. I would try first of all.
Sellers.
Okay, first of all, I don't let them get away with that. So James, you be the prospect. So James, if you were to make a move, when do you think that might be?
I don't know. It might be 6 months, a year, possibly sooner.
Okay, so that's kind of a wide range. There's no chance that you're going to do anything over the next couple months?
I guess anything's possible.
If we had a buyer for your home that would pay you the price that you need over the next couple months, would that interest you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I want to book an appointment with you, because we just found a very good reason why you're willing to do it today. But what if James says, look, there's no way I can list my home for at least 6 months because we bought new construction, or I'm being transferred, or I'm going through a divorce. He's got a real reason why he absolutely can't list his home today. Am I going to force a meeting where I know it would be a huge waste of time? Of course not. So we've got to ask the questions. We can't let the buyer off the hook saying, well, it could be 6 to 12 months, maybe earlier. You got to dig a little deeper. Now, if it's a buyer, I don't care. If they're going to do something anytime within the next 12 months, I don't care. I want to meet with them and get them signed to a 1-year buyer agency agreement. So, James, if I make the buyer offer to you, even if you're 8 months out, why is what I'm offering you not a benefit? Try to fight.
Well, if I'm looking, it is a benefit. That's the thing. Well, Craig, I appreciate you, offering to send me the emails every day, but I'm really not in a position to buy something today. It'll be a little while. I'm just looking around right now.
Okay, so James, between now and when you're ready to actually go look at homes, I would like you to be a super educated buyer. What I'd like to offer you is to email you daily updates of all the homes that perfectly match your criteria, including any bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, and distress sales. Then you can look at this information, and if you feel like it, you could even drive by the properties that interest you. But when you're ready to actually pull the trigger on this in 6 months, you're going to be a super educated buyer. What's the downside to the buyer? There is no downside. The buyer thinks, hell, that's a good idea. Yeah, I could either get no information at all, and then in 6 months when I'm ready, start to educate myself, or this guy's saying free and no charge, he'll email me every day all the best deals that match my criteria between now and whenever I'm ready, that there is no cost or obligation. Why would anyone say no to that? Why would people say no to that? And the truth is, done properly, they don't say no. Next question.
Okay, most sellers, if they say they're working with an agent, they will constantly say, we have an agent, there's no point in meeting with you. How do you overcome that objection?
Well, I'd probably just say, yeah, you're right. We're all the same, so if you already have one, I should probably just go. Sorry, I apologize for bothering you. Of course we don't do that. You've got to fight for this. We know that the prospects think all the agents are exactly the same. So how about this? Andrea, there's a tremendous difference between real estate agents and what they do and how much they charge to get the job done. Now, I know you said you're talking to an agent. Do you think you might be maybe open to meeting with me as well? What's the downside? I'm not saying, Andrea, don't use the other agent. Don't use your friend. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be prudent maybe that might be true, that there is a difference between real estate agents and what they do and how much they charge to get the job done. Now, Andrea, if you decided after meeting with me to continue on and use your friend, the real estate agent, at least you can go forward feeling pretty good about things. You've done your due diligence. You've met with another realtor, and you've decided that really your friend is the best choice. But what if you met with me and you realized that that wasn't true, that there actually was a tremendous difference in what I would do for you and what you would pay? Do you think maybe, since you're selling like your biggest asset, maybe you might be open to just discovering whether that might be a possibility? In other words, I'm saying, look, if I come over to your house and no matter what I do or say and how fantastic it is, or even if I was to offer to sell your home for free, if no matter what, you're just going to list with your friend, then I'm out. I'm not interested. So I'm trying to determine, I'm trying to create doubt in Andrea's mind, because Andrea's thinking now, well, it is my friend. I kind of feel obligated, but it is kind of dumb not to talk to a couple of other agents and just trust my biggest asset, my home. I've worked my whole life for this, just with my friend because I know her from the gym. And besides, she is kind of flaky. Sometimes she doesn't show up or meet me at the gym when she says she's going to. And she's having a lot of marriage problems right now. She's distracted with that. Maybe I should meet with Craig. It doesn't always work, but you got to fight for it. You can't just give up when they say, well, we're good. We have an agent. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you have one, why would you need me? Because you've got one and we're all the same. So, I guess you're good. Let's see who's next.
Our next chat question, I'm having no problem booking appointments, but I find prospects are canceling. What can I do or say to get these leads to reaffirm the benefit of meeting?
Okay, well, if they're canceling in great numbers, it's not them, it's you. If they cancel every once in a while, it wouldn't force me to go back to my office and blow everything up and start all over again, because guess what? Every once in a while, there'd be a no-show for me. You want to know why? Sometimes they forget. People forget things. James, I think I told you I spent a couple $100 last year on hockey tickets. They were very expensive. And so I wouldn't forget. I placed the tickets above the shelf above the phone in the kitchen because I go by that every day. There. I'll put them right there. I won't forget. Guess what? I forgot. I forgot to go to something I really wanted to go to. So do you think our prospects might forget to go to something that they really don't want to go to, which is meeting a realtor? So you want to book the appointments as close to now as possible. If it's happening a lot, you've got to do an autopsy because it's not them, it's you. They don't either. Maybe they don't understand the benefit of meeting with you. Hey, James, has this ever happened to you? A telemarketer's calling you and you say, yeah, just to get them off the phone?
I have played around with them a little bit before, yes.
Right. So, if you're saying the right things about the offer, could this be true? That maybe you're just good enough with the offer that you can convince them to say yes to you on the phone, but deep down, once they hang up, they really don't want to meet with you. They're not 100% sold. They were sold enough. Just they said, I've been on the phone for 5 minutes with this guy. Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, Tuesday at your office. That's good. Yeah, we'll see you there. But they don't show up. So some of you have heard me say this before. If Tuesday at 7 o'clock they were supposed to meet at your office to get a box full of gold bricks, how many of them would forget about that? How many of them would cancel? Yeah, I don't want to come over to the office to get the gold bricks. You would have 100% turnout. Why? Because everyone in the world understands the value of a box of gold bricks. But everyone doesn't understand the value of meeting with a realtor unless you do a really, really, really good job of communicating that. So I've just got to say, it's not by accident. If a whole bunch of them aren't showing up, it's not an accident. It's not them, it's you. It's what you're saying or what you're not saying on the phone, or maybe you're booking the appointment too far in the future. There's something that you need to fix. So is it a common cause or is it a special cause? You guys all know about common causes and special causes. You're driving down the road in your car, and the car stops. Okay, a common cause would be, well, I ran out of gas. Who knew you had to put gas in these things? That'd be a common cause. You know that the car needs gas on a regular basis. You can fix that. You can build into your system, okay, I need a reminder, tie a string on my finger every week I got to put gas in my car. Okay, that's called a common cause. You can plan for common causes. A special cause is this. You're driving down the road in your car and the car stops. It's the alternator. You can't plan for that. You couldn't plan for your alternator blew up. So you've got to distinguish between common causes and special causes. Next question, please.
Our next question comes from Jana, and I like this question. It's really the exception versus the rule, but it's about pretty much a domestic disagreement. She spoke with a prospect, and the husband and wife didn't agree on anything, from the house to who they wanted to use as the agent. What is the best way to handle this?
Well, that's called being married. So I am going to bring James McDonald into this. Even though James is very inexperienced, he's never had a disagreement with his wife. But James, how would you handle this rare situation of husband and wife disagreeing?
Well, I think what's critical is to understand, are we talking about over the phone? Are we talking about booking the appointment, or are we talking about at the appointment? Right?
So,
I mean, this is a critical difference. You can only speak to one person on the phone, but if you think about it, let's break it down both ways. If we're talking about over the phone, I think it stands to reason that you'd be able to say, at least if we sit down together and we can discuss all of the elements in selling your home, everything that's important to you, at least then you'll be better equipped to make the right decision. That I'm sure sounds fair to everybody. So really, this shouldn't really be an issue in terms of booking the appointment. Remember, there's no cost. No one's obligated to do anything. Right? This is all benefit driven. The reason that we're meeting is so that you can have an accurate idea of the likely home value of your home. You can understand all of the helpful things that you could do and not do to make your home worth more money. We can go over a net sheet so you'll know exactly what you'll have left in your pocket, all the various closing costs. We can talk about timing. All of these things are going to help you, but you do not have to do anything. You don't have to pay any money. You don't have to obligate yourself in any way. This is just so you have knowledge. So booking the appointment, disagreement of it shouldn't really be an issue if you do a good job of explaining the benefit and remove the risk. There's no cost and obligation. I'm not asking you to choose me. If what we're talking about, though, is face-to-face at the appointment, you know, I mean, yeah, you're dealing with different personality types here, and what you might want to determine as early as you can is whether or not what you want to do is suggest a two-step appointment. In other words, you will really look like the voice of reason if you're the one that suggests what's going to happen inevitably anyway. Okay, so watch this. I look at my crystal ball and I can tell, you know what? One of the spouses is not going to sign anything tonight. It's very evident that one very likely would, but the other definitely wouldn't. And this is all kinds of tension that you can cut with a knife and you can feel it. So instead of this objection coming up from their lips, I'm going to bring it up instead. I'm going to be the one that suggests, you know what I think we should do? Let's get all of this information on the table and let's give you some time to digest it and discuss it together. And then maybe what I can do is go back to the office, and over the next 24 hours or so, I'm going to do some further research on your property and on home sales in the area, and get some more information as well. But in the meantime, what that's going to give you an idea, give you some time to digest everything that we've discussed here today, talk about it together, maybe come to some decisions. Would that be a good idea for you? If you're the one that suggests it, it's going to make you look like the professional, the voice of reason, confident, competent, all of those very, very likable qualities, and it's going to make you look that way to both parties. So, you know what? I think that's about the best suggestion in that circumstance that you could.
I like it. I like it. Okay, we have a couple more questions here. Debbie Sorensen is asking, when you go to the listing appointment, but you don't have that many buyers in their area, what can you use or say? So Debbie, type in maybe the number of buyers that you might have. Do you have any buyers? Do you have any buyers in that area? Hypothetically, what are we talking about here? The point I want to make is even if Debbie had 7 buyers, it still works. It's more buyers than the other agent's telling the seller about.
Well, not only that, but hang on a second, okay? We can parse words here, and we can do this a little bit differently if you're in that situation, okay? Let's say that you run buyer ads that offer lists of homes to buyers, okay? And you're just starting out, so you're working with only 7 actual buyers that you're working with signed to contracts. Okay, that's one thing. So that's not terribly impressive to the seller yet. But what you can do is you could say this. I have had over 4,000 buyers identify that they're interested in looking at properties in the area. And you can show them that those are hits to your website regarding home searches. Now, it doesn't mean that they filled in the information. It doesn't mean they requested anything. But you can say and show them and demonstrate that I've had over 4,000 buyers in recent months who have been looking for properties in the area, not your area, in the area. And you can show them that. And it is true. Those are the total number of buyers that clicked on your ad or visited the domain name. It doesn't mean they requested anything. It doesn't mean you met with them. It doesn't mean you signed them to a contract. It doesn't mean you're showing them properties. It means they indicated that they were looking for properties. And every one of you, if you're running ads for a month, you can do that, because I assure you, you'll have hundreds, if not thousands, of hits on the ads. Now, those might not parlay into leads, but they are hits. Those are human beings that demonstrated that they're interested in looking at properties in the area.
Yeah, you know what? You don't have to say much in that regard to differentiate yourself from what the other agents are saying, because the other agents, you want to know what they're saying, James? Meep. Meep.
They're saying nothing. Meep.
They're nothing. They're saying, hey, James, if you list with me, then I could go and try to find a buyer.
Right. I'll put a sign on your lawn.
Maybe like a buyer will come if you list with me. I'll do the open house, and maybe the buyer will come in and buy it. Or they might call me off the sign.
Right.
Okay, next question.
You could say this. You could say, every week I have over 600 different buyers that indicate interest in looking at properties in the area. And you could show them that every week on average you get 600 clicks on various ads that offer lists of properties to buyers. You didn't say that they asked for the information. You didn't say that they are clients of yours. What you said is, I have 600 people a week that indicate that they'd like information on properties for sale in the area. They're buyers looking. Did the other agents that you interviewed share with you the number of buyers that they're attracting on a weekly basis? Let me guess. No, they didn't.
All right, last question.
In other words, it doesn't just have to be the buyers you're actually working with. What you're trying to share with them is that you're not the normal average agent. You actually proactively attract buyers. That's the benefit. Sorry, go ahead, Craig.
Last question, Stephen Chen. The seller says they do not have to sell. They just want to see if they could, what they could sell for, if they could get a good price. What do you say? Well, James, you're the seller. So, James, if you were to move, do you think you'd be moving in the next 3 to 6 months?
No, I don't think so. I just want to see what my home's worth.
Okay. If we could get you in your pocket what you needed to make this worthwhile, would you consider making a move?
No. No, we're just curious.
Guess what? I'm not going to your house.
Right. No problem.
What if you said, well, maybe? Then I would ask a couple more qualifying questions, and I might be interested in coming to your house.
Right.
But guess what? Here's a news flash for everybody. Every once in a while, you're going to talk to sellers that just want to know what their house is worth, and they have no interest in moving. Okay, so once you've identified that, what's the proper response, James?
Information's on its way. If you have any questions, give me a call. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.
And I really sincerely do hope they have a nice day.
Right.
I really do want them to have a nice day. Have an excellent day, and I hang up the phone and I call the next prospect. But the day doesn't include me going over to their home and wasting an hour of my life.
Right. You're not trying to create motivation where motivation doesn't exist. You're trying to discover motivation where motivation exists.
Bingo. Okay, so James, you and I are drilling for oil. We have an oil drilling company. And apparently oil is everywhere right now because it's really cheap. But we're drilling, and we go all over Canada and the United States, and we're drilling holes here and there, and we're really motivated. We want oil. Can we create oil because we're really motivated? Why are we drilling for the oil? To find out whether it's there. Sometimes it's not. Same with the probing questions. You're drilling with these probing questions to find out if there's motivation. Sometimes, guess what? There's not. Move on. That's why we need lots of leads. Next. Okay, that's it. Tell us about Monday, James. Monday is fantastic.
Friday comes first.
So, right, Friday's ad clinic.
We have our ad clinic session tomorrow, which I talked about. So yes, do make sure you upload your ads. And tomorrow morning we're going to look at a bunch of ads and make sure that all of you take another step forward in becoming experts with running the ads effectively.
And then tell us about Monday.
You just okay. You want to be right.
No. I thought it was Friday. Honestly, I thought it was Friday, and now I'm bummed out because you've reminded me it's Thursday. So
I think he's the boss. Let's make it Friday.
Can we make it Friday? Andrea is all for. How many of you on the webinar just want to vote in? We're going to make this Friday. We're done here. And
today's Friday.
Today's Friday. Okay, so you're right. It's not Friday.
Yes, but Monday, of course, as always, is our open forum helpline session, which is great because anything that we discuss today, we can discuss on Monday, as well as any other topic of discussion. As we did this past Monday, we had a great helpline where we talked about 10 different things, and that's the idea. It sort of gets the juices flowing as well, which is great. And of course, we'll do that this Monday and every Monday for that matter. So the participation has been awesome. Today's participation was great. And we'll do it again next Thursday. But in the meantime, tomorrow's the ad clinic. And we'll look forward to looking at all of your marketing efforts.
Boom. All right. Thanks, Andrea. Thank you, James. Thank you, everybody, for being with us here today. And yes, we will see you tomorrow morning, Friday morning, for our ad clinic. Take care, and that concludes today's webinar.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a wonderful afternoon. Talk to you all tomorrow.